Kakadosh Boker Tov. We're continuing with the halachot of Siman Resh Sadi, which has to do with learning Torah on Shabbat. It says the one that's giving the dirasha in front of the tzibur on Shabbat, Ikar Machshavto, his main thought process has to be on what is going to be helpful for the tzibur which is found in front of him. And therefore, he's going to say things which are going to draw them towards the Torah. So if there are people which are Yirei Shamayim and the very Medaktakim mitzvot, so then the majority will be in halachot to teach whether it's going to be Hilchot Shabbat or other halachot, and within the words to actually add on Divrei Agadah from Parashat HaShavua, and he should also say Divrei Chochmah Musar B'tochacha, which means Musar, which is going to be which the tzibur are not doing properly in order to awaken them to become better and to have good midot. Now if the tzibur are Pshutei Am, which means people which are Nashim Pshutim, very simple people, so therefore they're going to suspect that if a shiur of halacha is not going to draw their hearts, so then the Yikar Dirasha will be in Divrei Agadah, and then Mishalim and Biurim and Divrei Chazal, and then in the middle you also give Halakha and Musar. So it all depends on the shift of the focus, depends on who is your audience, who is the crowd. The Midrash Rabbi brings down, Amar Rabbi Shimon Melakish, Kol HaOmer Divrei Torah Barabim ve'enam Arevim le'ozen shomehem kekala she'ena areva leba'ala lo achlo shelo nivra. He says, if right now a person is saying Divrei Torah Barabim, and people are not interested in listening to it, just like it would be a kala that's not interested in her new husband, so it's better that it wasn't even said. Shneimar vayiten Moshe Moshe kechaloto ledabeito. What does it mean kechaloto? The word kechaloto is written without a vav. So from here we see that it has to be areva letzibur kekala she'areva leba'ala, which means that instead of just saying when it finishes, because that's also the explanation of kechaloto that was given to when he was finished, but rather it's like a kala, which means just like a kala bride is going to be, areva is going to be sweetened in front of the eyes of her husband, the new groom. So too the words of Divrei Torah. And in Midrash Shir Hashirim Baba they say, Nofet titofna siftutai chala. He says, Amar Rabbi Yoseh, Kol HaOmer Divrei Torah Barabim ve'Mevim le'ozen shomehem kidvash, lo achlo shelo omram. Also has to be sweet, just like the words of dvash, just like honey. So a Tamil Chacham that's giving shiurim in halachot, he has to prepare himself and to actually look in all the sifrei within a poskim in order that it should actually be tvarav mivsadim ala nefaz, and therefore he should know to paskin halacha properly and not to be somech on the sifrei kitzur which are nowadays brought down, and he should actually put it so that it should be shagur b'fihem, and therefore he should know the reasoning and to give it over. So these are just the different halachot to do with the learning, whether it's going to be divrei halacha or divrei agadah. We're just going to continue with the next halacha, which says actually something very interesting. The Zohar HaKadosh speaks about on somebody that's zocheh to be mechadesh chidushei Torah on Shabbat, and he says shakadosh baruch hu sameach benishmato. So when a person is going to give a novelty, he's going to come and say something new on Shabbat that he didn't know beforehand, he says HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to be very happy with his neshama. He's going to bring all his entourage right from up above, from the upper worlds. And then Hashem gives over that chidush that a person said down here below. And everyone is going to be very happy, right, that they're going to crown his words. We're not talking about something that has to be very, very amok, very deep. It's already going to be enough, even if you're going to make a chidush, whether it's going to be pasuk in Tanakh, right, or you're going to think in his mind to do any type of anagat tova throughout the entire week. Now he says if you did write down a chidush during the weekday, and he didn't take it out with his mouth, on Shabbat, he should actually say it. Which means even if during the weekday you thought of a chidush and you wrote it down, on Shabbat you should say over that chidush. And then it's considered that you actually were mechadesh et zeh b'Shabbat. This is actually just to show you the importance of what it is, of that you have to actually take out the words of Divrei Torah with your mouth. Because technically speaking, you already did the chidush during the weekday. Not only did you already mechadesh et zeh, you actually even wrote it down. The fact that you only said it on Shabbat, it's considered that right now you actually said the chidush. And somebody that does not know how to be mechadesh chidushim, he'll learn in Shabbat new things which he didn't learn previously, in order that also it should be considered new chidushim for this person that he's actually learning.